Dr. Hugh Scott, the students and staff of Southern Nash High School would like to welcome you to tonight's home opener between the Vikings of South Granville High School and your Southern Nash Firebirds. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll direct your attention to the field, the Southern Nash Marching Firebirds are being led onto the field by Mr. Matthew Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, as the band is filing into place, we would like everyone to please rise and remove all headwear as we will prepare for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday, August the 10th, Eric Avery Creech lost his life in a motor vehicle accident in Harnett County. Avery was an active member of the Marching Firebirds and participated faithfully in the percussion section. Despite this tragic event, his smile and contagious personality live on in the hearts of our band and school community. Our band members would like to thank everyone for their continued thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please join us all in a moment of silence as we remember and honor Avery Eric Creech. Thank you. Now, please direct your attention to the field as the Southern Nash Marching Firebirds will perform our national anthem. Thank you.
And good evening, Firebird fans, and welcome to Stanhope for the kickoff of the home opener of the 2023 football season here as Southern Nash hosts South Granville, the South Granville Vikings. Here in their first home opener, South Granville comes into the game tonight 0-1 after a loss last weekend, 18-0 to Green Level. And, of course, Southern Nash with a big victory over East Wake by a final of 39-0 comes in. So one with a win and one with a loss as we face off tonight here. A lot of new looks for Southern Nash. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. Of course, a lot of old faces. We'll get with that too. So, but for right now, we're just about ready for the introduction of the Firebirds. And once again, I'm Brent Cohn flying solo tonight. Kenneth flies off, and I'll be handling the play-by-play action for you. This is the Tar River Sports Network, and this is Firebird Friday Night Lights. And we are getting set for kickoff. And, of course, this year we have a little bit of a different look. We're only going to be able to cover the home games here on the Tar River Sports Network. Unfortunately, a lot of high schools have taken over and wanted to pull their own broadcast, and they've kind of told us to stay at the house. So that's what we'll do. We'll represent here and bring these games to you live once again on the Tar River Sports Network. Our sponsors this year, we've got co-sponsors for the entire season, Wilson Mold and Machine and Vandermark Sod Farms, both longtime and original sponsors here at the Tar River Sports Network, and, of course, longtime supporters of the Southern Nash Firebirds. And so we want to thank them, and as we look forward to getting things kicked off here, once again, some of the new looks we'll talk about a little bit, but then, of course, a returning look is the kicker Charlotte Benson, who puts the ball on the tee and prepares to kick off as Southern Nash won the toss and decided to defer to the second half. So the Vikings of South Granville will receive the ball first, and we'll get a look at the absolutely outstanding defense of the Firebirds in just a moment. Fielded at just inside the 30-yard line, runs into a red wall, and it'll be brought down, and South Granville will take over first and 10 at their own 30. It's like the 37-yard. No, they're going to mark him all the way out to the 40 with his forward momentum. Still waiting for a spot here. There we go. It's out to the 40. Israel Whitaker and Aaron Horn in at the front of that stop on the kick return. So a look here at the South Granville offense. Quarterback Peyton Curran will line up in the shotgun as we await for the first play from scrimmage here. Some movement across the middle, and it hits the motion guy. He's immediately hit in the backfield, and Southern Nash will start it off as the sophomore sensation Luke Faulkner erupts through the line and gets the sack to start the game. So a busted play brought on by the motion.
17 for the Vikings.
Of South Granville. Luckily, they avoided a fumble, but not before they had to face Luke Faulkner and the rest of the Firebird defense as they came through the line. And, of course, up front you see John Tollison, Malachi Dobbins, Devin Richardson. Once again, hit in the backfield. manages to get a couple of the lost yards back. Take it out to about the 39, and then it'll bring up out to the 34. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 16 now for the Vikings. Also on that front line, Chris Harris and Israel Whitaker on the opposite defensive end. Back to pass. He's got a man open down the middle. Way overthrows. It'll fall incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. Kern looked a little upset like the route was missed. Definitely showed some arm strength there, but that's going to bring up 4th down. And South Granville will be at a 4-and-out and forced to punt here early in the first quarter. Back deep for the Firebirds is Tyleek Mitchell, who led the Firebirds last week in rushing, 140 yards in rushing. He also added on an 8-yard reception for 148 yards of total offense. This will be fielded. He's got some room to run. He'll take it back to the sideline, jumps a defender. He's still on his feet and will be brought down inside South Granville territory and marked down at about the 46-yard line of South Granville. So excellent field position to start off with the Firebirds. And the new look offense led by, well, it's not the new look yet as Tyleek Mitchell steps in at quarterback. So I probably tipped my hand on the new look there. And Mitchell will keep it himself. He'll go around the right end. He's got some room to run. He'll cut back to the middle, still on his feet. Misses a couple of tackles. Finally, he'll be brought down at about the 26-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down for Southern Nash. So a 19-yard run by Tyleek Mitchell, which brings in the now starting quarterback for the Firebirds, Jake Cooper, first year as QB1. Cooper had about 34 yards reception last week, which turned into mostly a run game. And he'll look to pass immediately and thrown a little out front. Whitaker unable to hold on to the pass. He did get a hand on it. Actually, the pass was laid out very nicely. That'll fall incomplete, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Firebirds. Of course, Israel Whitaker last week had a catch for 26 yards, which was the biggest pass play of the night. And this time it'll be Tyleek Mitchell on the carry. He'll take it down to the 16. So a 10-yard carry is enough for another first down. So scratch that 11-yard gain on the play. So already 30 yards rushing by Tyleek Mitchell, the senior. Excuse me. Tyleek Mitchell's a junior. And this time Luke Faulkner up the middle. He breaks through a tackle and touchdown Firebirds. And the sophomore Luke Faulkner shows off the two-way threat. And scores the big touchdown as it puts the Firebirds on the board first, 6-0. As Charlotte Benson steps on to attempt the PAT. And that'll skim through low, but it's good. So with 8:44 remaining in the first quarter, the Firebirds take the lead 7-0 over the South Granville Vikings. And for those of you watching, having a little fun with the new graphics, hoping you're enjoying the new Firebird. I know it looks like a dragon, but we're saying it's a Firebird. And while we're talking about the Firebird, we'd like to make note of the new field look, which is another part of the new look Southern Nash football team. The Firebird logo returns to midfield with the Nash County backdrop, and of course SNHS in one end zone and birds in the other, and of course the field lined in blue chalk, which it looks fantastic. So kudos to Coach Batchelor and his staff. Of course, we know Coach Batchelor didn't do it. It was actually Quayne Battle, Chris Pace, and others. I think Robbie Kennedy was involved in the field painting, and so that looks really good. So the kickoff will roll out of bounds. The flag comes out. So the Vikings will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. So far, Vikings with negative yardage in the game. Unable to stop the defense. We'll talk a little more about the second line of the defense. Of course, we've mentioned Luke Faulkner a couple of times already. And as well as Devin Richardson as the outside linebacker. Zuriel Curtis, Jaden Whitaker, and of course Logan Saunders. And at the safety position, Saunders had an interception last week and hit hard in the backfield by Isaac Joyner.
With a
Big tackle by the Firebirds as he burst through the line.
Looks like it's going to be a loss of about 2 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So the loss of 2 brings up 2nd down at 12 now for the Firebirds. And I actually misstated the starting point while I go for the Vikings. It was actually 1st and 10 from their own 40 after the out-of-bounds penalty. So now faced with 2nd and 12. Curran will step under center. And this will be a pitch. And again caught in the backfield. This time it's Malachi Dobbins who explodes through the line. And that stops Cameron Dennison for a further loss. That'll bring up now 3rd down and 17 after a loss of 5 on the play. So Curran will go back to the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers wide left, and a third will come out. Check that. That'll be a substitution. Looks like some confusion on the play call. And the flag will be thrown as it is a delay of game penalty against the Vikings. That'll step them back 5 more yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 22 now. And I got to say, if I looked up and saw those guys coming through the line at me as fast and as hard hitting as the Southern Nash defense has been so far this evening, I believe I'd be a little confused as well. Back from the shotgun, looking to pass. He's hit as he throws. It's actually be caught, but he was out of bounds. A flag is thrown. They're going to say the pass was complete. Waiting for the call here. So this could be the first positive yardage play for the Vikings, as Curran was able to get the ball off as he was being hammered in the backfield. Looks like it's going to be a face mask penalty against Southern Nash.
Offsetting penalties on
So offsetting penalties. There was a
face mask against the Firebirds and
it's like
illegal touching on the Vikings
against South Granville, and a
bring up
face mask against Southern
down.
Nash, and that will, for all intents and purposes, negate the play and repeat the down. So scratch the first positive yardage play for the Vikings. Once again, it's 3rd down and 22. I don't know if I've ever heard of illegal touching, unless you're in Catholic school. Oh, scratch that. Once again, back to pass. Pressure is there.
Good pressure on the play.
Pass is incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Whitaker putting pressure on the quarterback. Pass ball is incomplete.
So Israel Whitaker and Luke Faulkner back in the play alongside of Malachi Dobbins. So not giving the Vikings much opportunity. So this punt fielded by Logan Saunders. And after a short return, it'll now be Southern Nash. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Daniel Colley steps up at center, and Cooper will be lined up in shotgun. He's got 3 receivers wide to the right. Lone back in the outfield and a quick throw out into the flat to Tyleek Mitchell. That'll be a gain of about 3 on the play. It's going to bring up, actually, they're only going to give him 2 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Gain of 2, bring up 2nd down and 8.
Of course, Tyleek Mitchell, the younger brother, and that's going to be a big defensive stop for the Vikings.
Going to be stopped for a loss of about 1. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
And I believe that was Jaquez Andrews on the carry. If not, it was Jonathan Hines. More time seeing those numbers. But as I was saying, Tyleek Mitchell, the younger brother of Traylon Mitchell, who's now at Virginia Tech. And we look forward to seeing Trey play here in the near future for Virginia Tech, as well as Landon Baker. And the ball comes out. It's fumbled. It's going to be recovered by South Granville, so the first turnover of the game. Jonathan Hines coughs it up, and South Granville will recover, and it'll be Vikings football, 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Of course, Dusty Hall also making his first college football appearance this season, so we look forward to seeing all of the Southern Nash alumni. Of course, Jackson Vick already at NC State. And this will be a pitch back to Cameron Dennison. It's like he'll get back just about to the line of scrimmage.
What appears to be the original line of scrimmage, no gain on the play.
The second down and 10 after the no gain on the play. Curran again with a pitch to Dennison. And this time he'll be hit behind the line of scrimmage. And that's Devon Richardson.
Dennison on the carry once again, going to drop for a loss on the play.
Leading that Firebird tackle. It's going to bring up third down and 11. Of course, we also have to mention Quentin Cooley up in Liberty, as well as Darius Edmondson, who is at NC State. So a lot of Firebirds have moved on to next level football. And, of course, thoughts and prayers and hopes and wishes with Zonovan Knight up with the Jets playing alongside Aaron Rodgers. Seems odd to see a Southern Nash player alongside Aaron Rodgers, although Julius Peppers has done it previously. So pressure, and the pass from Curran is behind the intended receiver, and it's going to bring up another fourth down for the Vikings. And so once again, the punt unit will come on to the field for South Granville. So that looks like Jaden McNeil back to punt. And Logan Saunders, and the punt is way over snap. The ball is still loose. He's pressured and tackled. Brought down inside the 10-yard line.
With the stop, Firebirds are going to take over at the Viking 10-yard line.
And, sorry, that was actually Evan Zalo on the kick. So the mistake there by the Vikings gives the Firebirds a now starting position all the way down at the 10-yard line. So a chance to redeem themselves from the earlier turnover. As Jake Cooper once again steps under center. Luke Faulkner in the backfield in motion. Goes Tyleek Mitchell. And Faulkner will carry it up the middle. He'll pick up about 4. Bring up second down to goal from the 6. And once again, Cooper under center, Faulkner in the backfield with Mitchell and KRT on the ends. This time a pitch to Mitchell. He'll take it out across the 5 out to about the 4 before he stops.
Jonathan Hines on the carry is going to take it up.
Sorry, that was Jonathan Hines on the carry. It's going to bring up third down and goal from the 4. Hines last week had 10 carries for 51 yards. Movement on the defensive line. Looks like it's going to be encroachment. That should bring up half the distance. And so that'll bring up third and goal from the 2. And this time it'll be handed off to Luke Faulkner again up the middle. And the signal comes across, and for the second time tonight, Luke Faulkner punches it into the end zone.
Faulkner takes it in from 2 yards out.
And that'll run it to 13-0 with once again Charlotte Benson on for the extra point attempt. .159 remaining in the quarter. The Ball is down. And that one will split the uprights. And here comes the Firebird logo. So with a second under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter, Firebirds pull ahead 14-0 despite a turnover here in the first. They've managed to pull out to a 2-score lead. And with the explosiveness that the Firebird offense has shown, there is a possibility of scoring again, especially with the stopping power of the defense. So far tonight, South Granville is in total negative yardage from the line of scrimmage, unable to move the ball against the defense. The only positive play, once again, they've had so far was a pass play that was negated by offsetting penalties. So Coach Richard Hall having some discussions with the officials. And he gets a chuckle from Coach Battle as he walks by. Another high pooch kick fielded at about the 35-yard line. Going to be a little bit of a return this time. And McNeil on the return takes it out to about the 49-yard line, excuse me, the 44-yard line of South Granville. And they're actually going to spot it at the 45. So it'll be 1st and 10 Vikings from their own 45 with a minute 52 remaining here in the first quarter. Curran back to pass. Got a little extra time. There'll be a flag thrown. And he'll be tripped up and taken down. Dobbins, Trey Ormond, Devin Richardson in on the stop. Looks like that's likely a holding call, and that is the signal from the officials.
Bring a first down and long.
So that is a 10-yard penalty. And that is actually from the point of infraction. So officials are trying to determine exactly where the foul occurred. Obviously the flag was thrown in that general direction. There's some discussion as to where to mark off the 10 yards. We'll wait for the actual spot of the ball. So that'll take it all the way back to the 26. So basically a loss of 19 on the play. And it's going to be 1st and 29 now. So some shift on the front line of the Southern Nash defense. Curran looks like he may be trying an adjustment. He's under center.
Timeout.
And timeout called by Vikings head coach Mike Hopgood, as he obviously saw the shift. And our first time out of the game comes with 1:43 remaining in the first half. And we'll take a moment here to mention tonight's sponsors, Wilson Mold and Machine, located in Wilson on Highway 42. They're the area's #1 tire, mold, and machine shop. Repair and salvage work are their specialty. They're longtime supporters of everything Firebirds. Visit them at wilsonmoldandmachine.com. Wilson Mold and Machine is currently hiring. No experience is needed. Just go to wilsonmoldandmachine.com and fill out an application tonight. Also, tonight's sponsor, Vandermark Sod Farms. They produce natural grass, the nature's best. Their successful family farm has been in operation for 35 years, and their vision is to enhance their customer field of dreams, 1 yard, 1 field at a time, with a variety of grasses being produced: Bermuda, fescue, St. Augustine, and zoysia. They service central and eastern North Carolina homeowners, local governments, public and private schools, corporate locations, and athletic fields. One and all, they're dedicated to meeting their customers' need and enhancing their lives. Vandermark Sod Farms. Of course, a great night here in Southern Nash and Stanhope. Started off a little warm as the sun begins to drop behind the trees. The field lights come on. You start to get that old fall time feeling. Little high school football. Southern Nash enjoys a 14-0 lead. Once again, with 1:43 remaining in the first quarter. This game definitely moving at a little bit faster pace than we did last week. A lot of penalties occurred, which led to a first half that lasted just over an hour and a half. So things are a little more fluid tonight. I guess the week 1 jitters on both sides of the football. Or for both teams last week with East Wake and Southern Nash. Once again, Southern Nash coming out victorious 39-0 in that game. We also want to mention our JV team, Southern Nash JV team, who are now undefeated at 2-0 after winning a very large double-digit wins versus both East Wake and South Granville.
The Southern Nash volleyball teams, both the varsity and the JV.
So we also would like to, you might hear the PA announcer in the background, Mr. Scott Colley. Volleyball, the girls volleyball team here at Southern Nash has started off undefeated 5-0, and they face Nash Central this upcoming week. So a lot of excitement here at Southern Nash for the entire athletic department, as all teams so far have started off undefeated.
Good luck as their season progresses.
So a very long timeout. And for some reason, the ball has now been placed all the way to the 35-yard line. So I think after some discussion, the officials decided that the ball would be down at the spot of the hold, which turned into a loss of 10, which brought up 1st and 20. So that will actually bring up the first positive yardage play for South Granville. Gain of 2 will now make it 2nd and 18 for the Vikings. And Curran will hand this one off up the middle. Another positive yardage carry, this time carried by Jaden McNeil. And he'll pick up about 7 on the carry. It's going to bring up 3rd down 11, still a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage. As we pass 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Colonel drop back, he'll roll out pressure. He does complete the pass. It's caught by I believe that is Dacian Oliver. I'm sorry, 32. I do not have a 32 on their roster, on the listed roster that we have. So with that catch, that will be
penalty flag comes in at the end of the play.
So a penalty flag thrown at the end of the play. We'll see if there's another overturning of a play. Unsportsmanlike is called against South Granville. And that was after the play was completed, so will be first down. So the first down of the night for the Vikings. However, it does come with baggage. So it'll be first and 10 now.
Should be first down and 10 for the Vikings.
From the Viking 47. So South Granville able to pull off the nice pass play and get a first down, only to have it pushed back into their own territory. Two receivers to the right. There was some movement on the line. It's going to be a false start against South Granville. That'll back them up 5 yards and make it first and 15 now. With 7.7 ticks left in the first quarter clock. This will likely be the last play from scrimmage. Colonel moved both his receivers to his right. And this will be handed off in the middle to Jamar Hicks. And it looks like he'll pick up about a yard. It's going to make it now second and 14. And that'll bring us to the close of the first quarter with Southern Nash leading the South Granville Vikings 14-0. So not a lot of real estate to cover to change sides. And with a short break, once again, I want to talk about tonight's sponsors as well as all 5 of the games. Wilson Mold and Machine, who are currently hiring. No experience is necessary. You can go to wilsonmoldandmachine.com and fill out an application tonight. They are longtime supporters of everything Firebirds. They do repair and salvage work. That's their specialty. And they're the area's #1 tire, mold, and machine shop. They're located in Wilson on Highway 42. And also sponsoring this year's games, Vandermark Side Farms, who are dedicated to meeting their customers' needs and enhancing their lives, serving Central and Eastern North Carolina's homeowners, local governments, public and private schools, corporate locations, and athletic fields. They provide a variety of natural grasses being produced: Bermuda, fescue, St. Augustine, and zoysia. Their vision is to enhance their customers' field of dreams, 1 yard, 1 field at a time. They've been a successful family farm operation for 35 years, producing nature's best natural grass. Vandermark Side Farms, proud sponsor of the Southern Nash Firebirds. So the first play of the second quarter, South Granville 2nd and 14. That'll be a pitch back into the backfield. This time again to Jade McNeil, and he'll fall with a loss of about a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 15. So again, Luke Faulkner on the stop. So head coach Mike Hobgood is going to have a hard time trying to figure out how to get around this Southern Nash defense, as the speed on the ends shuts that down, and then the power in the middle. There's no way to get through it. Really a couple of successful pass plays, which were kind of disenchanted by penalties. Maybe South Granville's best opportunity. However, they have to face the likes of Logan Saunders and the defensive secondary, who was Mr. Interception. This one's thrown deep. Man wide open down the field. The ball is caught. A great throw and catch. And it is Logan Saunders. No, I'm sorry. That is DeRay Lynch on the tackle. Great coverage on the play. Just a perfectly thrown football. And Jamar Hicks is down on the field. Looks like leg cramps, as it's like the trainer's got some issues. She's wearing a boot on her way out there. But a 40-yard pass play finally gets South Granville into the red zone. This is now 1st and 10 from the Southern Nash 17-yard line. So really the perfect offensive execution there for that pass. Once again, great coverage from Lynch, just perfectly placed over the shoulder by Curran. And I believe that was, I'm not sure who that was on the reception. I missed that number. Curran under center. This time handed off up the middle to Cameron Dennison. And he'll actually lose about 2 yards.
South Granville, he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play.
So bring up second down and 12.
Second down and 12.
So we're looking forward to have Kenneth back. He helps me with spotting and getting these numbers. He's actually down in Daytona at the race. And if he's watching, I miss you, buddy. Look forward to seeing you next home game. Another run play off the right end for South Granville will pick up a little better than 2. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and just under 10 yards now, with 9:45 remaining in the first half. Curran from the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to be looking to pass. Pressure from behind. The ball's out. It'll be scooped up. And that's Devin Richardson, who is going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown Firebirds on the big defensive play. And I believe that was started by the pressure of Malachi Dobbins, who caused the fumble. Devin Richardson picks it up and takes it to the house. And with 9:07 remaining in the first half, Firebirds pull ahead 20-0. And kicker Charlotte Benson on for the 3rd extra point attempt of the night. Cooper to hold. And she'll split the uprights again, and it's 21-0, Southern Nash.
score, so the Nash Firebirds 21.
So defense once again makes their presence known as they have been absolutely outstanding this evening. So it was actually 83 yards from the line of scrimmage. It was picked up at about the 26, 27 yard line. So the high kick, the ball's loose, and Southern Nash recovers. Jaden Whitaker on the recovered fumble on the kickoff. So only a 19-yard kick, which was not handled by South Granville. It was touched. And Jaden Whitaker able to get the fumble recovery, and Jake Cooper steps back on the field. And it's now 1st and 10 Southern Nash from the South Granville 41-yard line. And Cooper back to pass. Got a man wide open. That's Brandon Hill.
Jake Cooper's pass is complete to number 81, Brandon Hill.
And Brandon Hill will take it down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. And that's a first down pass on the 23-yard completion from Cooper to Hill. And it's first down Southern Nash from the South Granville 17-yard line. And this time it's Tyleek Mitchell on the carry. He'll go off the right guard. It's like he's going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards on the play. We'll look for the spot. They're going to spot it at the 15. So it's going to be second down and about, we'll call it second down at 6 now for the Firebirds.
Injury timeout on the field.
And there is another South Granville player down.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that next week the Firebirds will be in action at Fike. That game will be Thursday night. Thursday night at Fike. And also don't forget that the JV Firebirds will be at home next week, Wednesday.
That is Micah Hurt,
JV kickoff will be at
who is down on the field.
Wednesday night here at
it looks like they're having some cramping issues as he gets up under his own strength and walks towards the sideline before the trainers could even get there. Of course, the lightning speed of Crystal Kennedy, the Southern Nash trainer, she was on the spot immediately. I believe she could give Tyleek Mitchell and Caden Ricks Tucker a run for their money. So second down. And about 6 for the Firebirds. Cooper under center. And this will be pitched back to Tyleek Mitchell. He's caught it. He slips a tackle in the backfield. And he'll be hit behind the line of scrimmage. There will be a slight loss. So good coverage on the ends by the Vikings. So flag on the play. It's holding against the Firebirds. So that'll back Southern Nash up even further. It's going to be second down. And about 21. Now for Southern Nash, as Daniel Colley, the center, steps up to the line. Jake Cooper will be back under center. And it's handed off to Faulkner, who was unable to get anywhere. And that's going to bring up third down. As Israel Whitaker and Isaac Joyner both check in, along with Tyleek Mitchell. Cooper from the shotgun. He's going to look to pass. Pressure. He'll throw it out of bounds and incomplete. As nice pressure there from the Viking front line to bring up fourth down and long for the Firebirds. And we'll see what Coach Batchelor has in his bag of tricks, as it appears he's going to go for it now on fourth down with a 21-0 lead, 7:07 remaining in the half. Cooper again from the shotgun, three receivers out to the right. And Batchelor will call timeout. Didn't like whatever the look he saw was. And they'll bring him back over. It's the first timeout called on the half by Southern Nash. So that will recognize one of our sponsors, Wilson Mold and Machine, located in Wilson on Highway 42. They're the area's #1 tire, mold, and machine shop. Specialize in repair and salvage work. Longtime supporters of everything Firebird, and they're actually hiring right now. No experience is needed. Just go to wilsonmoldandmachine.com. That's Wilson Mold and Machine, all one word, .com, and fill out an application. Do it right now. While you're sitting here during the timeout, you can fill out the application, and they will take care of you. The Dobbins family will take care of you over there and get you started at work right away. As a different look this time, will be two receivers to the right, two to the left. Cooper again from the shotgun. Faulkner, the lone back in the backfield. Back into the pocket. Cooper's got pressure. A flag comes into play. Cooper is sacked. The flag is going to be in the area of a hold. That is the signal. That penalty declined, and Southern Nash with their second turnover of the night. They'll turn the ball over on downs to the South Granville Vikings, and it'll be 1st and 10 Vikings from their own 32-yard line. 6:59 remaining in the half. So we get this sorted out. We want to give a big shout out to J.C. Womble, who is a longtime avid fan and is usually sitting right here in the bleachers watching all of the home games at Southern Nash. And he's not with us tonight. He's sitting at home. So we want to give him a shout out And Mr. Womble, we sure do miss you here and hope you're enjoying the game. He's cut many a head in Springhope, I can tell you that. No, I meant haircuts. I don't mean cutting heads off. Pressure there by Devin Richardson. And the ball actually batted down by Whitaker on the not a great throw.
Devon Richardson, pass was incomplete. Israel Whitaker with the coverage. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
So the incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down and 10. And I didn't get word earlier today, but just in case, the normal Peachtree Hills watch party is going on. Big shout out over to Peachtree Hills, and especially to Mr. Dickie Bass, my man, the downtown Spring Hope painter. Got it looking good down there, buddy.
Nice play by number 15.
So the pitch play by the Vikings does not get them back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard on the play is going to bring up 3rd down and 11. So it looks like a little confusion again, as this time you got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Curran back to pass. He'll let it fly. And it's caught again by Lennox Averett. And he is who had the completion in the first half. He's proven to be the hands for the Vikings. That will take South Granville into Southern Nash territory as it's 1st and 10 from the Firebird 48-yard line. So after, again, some confusion, Mike Hobgood will call South Granville's 2nd timeout of the half. They'll have 1 remaining. It's 5:32 remaining. Southern Nash leads 21-0 here in Stanhope. And with that, we'll recognize Vandermark Side Farms, one of the original sponsors here of the Tar River Sports Network. And they've been producing nature's best natural grass. They're a successful family farm operation. They've been there in operations for 35 years. Their vision is to enhance their customers' fields of dreams, 1 yard and 1 field at a time, providing a variety of grasses in Bermuda, Fescue, St. Augustine, and Zoysia. They service Central and Eastern North Carolina. They provide for homeowners, local governments, public and private schools, corporate locations, and athletic fields. If you got a patch of grass, they'll hook it up for you. They're dedicated to meeting their customers' needs and enhancing their lives. Vandermark Sod Farm. You can visit them at vandermarksod.com. Curran under center. It's 1st and 10 for the Vikings. He's going to look to pass again. And this time, he goes back to Lennox Averett, but it's batted away.
Jaden Whitaker with nice coverage. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I'm sorry, that was Tanner Finch on that pass attempt. It's batted away. We do have a player down on the South Granville side. Matter of fact, there are multiple players down on knees. I believe that may be the quarterback, Peyton Curran. And once again, in these games with the high heat and the humidity, dehydration really comes into play. which immediately will bring the cramps. And it looks like that may be what they are working on for him. Still a little undecided. I don't see the normal muscle massage. But as they work, we're still trying to figure out exactly who that is. Once again, I believe that may be Peyton Curran, starting quarterback for the Vikings. That was a pass attempt which fell incomplete. Curran had rolled out to his right. Of course, a lot of pressure, as there has been all night by the Firebird defense. When I think about these hot nights and the leg cramps, the first person that always comes to my mind is former trainer Mr. Arthur Perry, who swore by a bunch of bananas. The potassium in bananas will definitely help fight those leg cramps, and I remember he used to carry a bunch in his back pocket. One of my all-time favorite teachers at Southern Nash, Mr. Arthur Perry. And that is Curran as he gets up under his own strength. There is a limp there. Well, we hope that that is leg cramps. They can get him some water and a little muscle massage, and he'll be able to get back out there. But for now, they will take him over to the South Granville bench for some medical attention. And that will bring in Tanner Finch as the backup quarterback. Tanner, a junior. And he'll hand that off
McNeil on the carry for the Vikings. Devon Richardson over tackle for the Firebirds. Gain of 1. Bring up third
to
down and 9.
McNeil. Will pick up about 1 on the play. And checking the stats here, that was actually Tanner Finch's first play from scrimmage as quarterback this season. So there'll be 2 receivers to the left. Make that 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Finch in the shotgun, a lone back alongside him, I believe it's McNeil. He'll look to pass, he slips, and the pressure by the Firebird defense is just too strong.
He's going to be dropped on another loss on the play.
Looks like Malachi Dobbins with his first hands on, assisted by Luke Faulkner and Devin Richardson and a bunch of other red jerseys out there as they swarm the backfield. Drop Finch and bring up 4th down and about 12, which will bring the punt unit back on. That's Evan Zalo in for the punt. Of course, South Granville's last punt attempt was, or one of their last punt attempts were snapped well over the head of Zalo. This one's going to make it there. Nearly blocked as Southern Nash was there. Saunders back deep. He slips the first tackle. He'll make a move around the right side. Good speed, caught from behind. Finally brought down as he crosses the 30-yard line of Southern Nash. They're going to mark him down at what looks to be the 33-yard line.
19-yard return.
So a 19-yard return there for Logan Saunders. And Jake Cooper in the Southern Nash offense once again step onto the field with a 21-point lead and 3:29 remaining in the first half. We'll see if Coach Batchelor decides to try to air it out some more. Had some success tonight in the air, but it'll be a pitch. And this time to Caden Ricks Tucker, KRT, on what I believe is his first carry of the night.
Be a gain of about 3, bring up second down and 7.
Of course, KRT last week was the number 2 rusher on the team. He had 107 yards and 18 carries, averaging 5.9, and finished just behind Salik Mitchell as the rushing leader for the Firebirds. And it looks like this is going to be Jaquez Andrews on the carry. And he'll take it out just shy of the 45 to the 44-yard line, but that's going to be enough to move the sticks for Southern Nash. It's first and 10 Firebirds from their own 44-yard line. So another quick pitch to KRT. He'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage. And they're going to mark him down at the 47 as the hurry-up offense now for Southern Nash. And this will be pitched back to Jonathan Hines. We'll take it into South Granville territory.
47-yard line, it appears.
And that is marked down at the 47-yard line of the Vikings. Being a third down and 1. Under 2 minutes to play, the hurry up. Handoff to Caden Ricks Tucker. And that's going to be enough yardage to move the sticks. It'll stop the clock temporarily with 1:42 remaining. And there is another Viking player down on the field, as it will be first and 10 for Southern Nash from the Viking, just outside the Viking 47-yard line. And a quick jump up by Jonathan Davis. The trainer, who was in a boot making her way out to him, did not look very happy that he waited for her to get there before he decided to jump up. But because of the official timeout, that will send him to the sideline for at least one play. We'll check him out. So Cooper lines up behind Collie. And another pitch to KRT. He'll look off the right tackle. He'll take it out close to the 45. And they're going to mark him down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of about 7. It's going to make a second down and about 3 on the play. And this will go to the left side.
To the 33-yard line, it appears.
And I believe that was Jonathan Hines on the carry. It was a short game, but it is enough to move the sticks. As the clock has stopped to move the chains with 1:09 remaining in the first half. Southern Nash does have 2 timeouts remaining here in the half. South Granville has 1. And it looks like they may possibly be considering a measurement here. And they're going to say he did not make it, bring up 3rd and short.
Previous play was marked just shy of the first down.
And this time it's KRT who does get back up yardage. But a flag comes in late after the play had ended. We'll look to see what the call is. So an unsportsmanlike call against South Granville.
Should be half the distance to the goal.
And as it's inside the 30, that'll be a half the distance to the goal tick. As it is a 15-yard penalty for the unsportsmanlike. And they're going to spot the ball at the 19-yard line. And where it'll be first down for Southern Nash. Cooper will turn to pass. He's got a man open. The pass is complete. And Jake Cooper with his first touchdown pass of the season. And that is completed to Tyleek Mitchell, who now has 3 touchdowns on the night. Excuse me, 2 touchdowns on the night. And Charlotte Benson on for the extra point attempt, her 4th of the night. A flag is thrown. That might have been Benson's best kick of the night. That'll be encroachment against South Granville. They'll move it half the distance. And Benson will have to re-kick. Remember the good old days when that was a free play. just under a minute to play here in the first half, 56.6 seconds. As Southern Nash, with the hurry-up offense, was able to punch it in. And once again, Charlotte Benson splits the uprights. And with 56 seconds remaining, it's 28-0, Southern Nash. So marked improvements here tonight for the Southern Nash offense, and just continued great intensity and play by the defense has been the story for the Firebirds. As Charlotte Benson steps out for her 5th kickoff of the night. Barring any turnovers, it's likely that South Granville will get the final possession here in the first half. If you remember, Southern Nash deferred, and they will receive the ball first in the second half. So a nice deep kick goes over everybody's head and almost stopped shy of the end zone. A nose-over-nose bounce of the football, and it goes back for a touchback. So a nice kick there by Benson. Takes it all the way out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for South Granville from their own 20. And here everybody thought all Charlotte could do was do the pooch kick for about 20 yards. Guess what? She can go deep too. So Southern Nash basically what looks like a protect offense, as they are very spread, 3-man front, 6 in the middle. They step up to a 4. 2 receivers to the left, a quick pitch as Curran has returned to the game. You can tell he is favoring that leg. Not sure, once again, if it was a cramp or an actual injury, but Curran has returned. The loss on the play of 2 will bring up 2nd down at 12 now for the Vikings. And timeout has been called on the field, this one by Southern Nash with 49.8 seconds. So it seems like possibly Coach Batchelor could be looking at the hopes of a final possession here in the first half. And so once again, we want to thank and recognize our sponsors for tonight's game and the entire home season here at Southern Nash. Vandermark Side Farm, so you can visit at vandermarkside.com, and also Wilson Mold and Machine. And visit them at wilsonmoldandmachine.com. Both of those are all one word, and .com. Both longtime supporters of Southern Nash Firebirds and sponsors for the Tar River Sports Network. We thank you. So an attempted run play to the left side of the field. Hit hard. It's like Israel Whitaker in with the initial hit. It's going to bring it third down, and Coach Batchelor will burn his final timeout of the first half with 43.5 seconds. So barring some extended long play, it looks like Southern Nash will get the ball back. And without a big gain, it could be in really good field position for the Firebirds. So there's a possibility that they could threaten to score one more time here in the first half. So a big spread offense here for the Vikings. Curran in the shotgun position, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Sends a man in motion. He'll hand this one off. He's caught in the backfield and brought down by Chris Harris. I believe that was Cameron Dennison on the carry. It's going to bring up 4th down and long for South Granville as they are backed all the way up to their own 15-yard line. The clock continues to run down to 15 seconds. And it looks like the clock may expire all the way to halftime, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's where we'll end the first. Southern Nash leads South Granville here in Stanhope by 28-0, and the first half dominated by the Southern Nash defense. Stay tuned at halftime for the Southern Nash band as they perform, and we'll be back in just a few moments with the second half where Southern Nash will have the ball to get things going. This is Brent Cohn for the Tar River Sports Network. We'll be back in a few.
Presenting their 2023 show, Solar Lux, please welcome drum major Flora Rhea and the Southern Nash High School Marching Firebirds. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your Center Nash Marching Firebirds. Marching Firebirds are pleased to announce their sponsors for the 2023 season: 5 County Heating and Air, Dave Mincy with Guaranteed Rate, Edwards Incorporated, Girls Round Here, Walters Team Real Estate, Rudy's Cornhole Boards, Pierce Brothers, Rudy's Trucker Trailer, and Temperature Control Solutions.
And welcome back to Stanhope for the start of the second half. Southern Nash leading the South Granville Vikings by a score of 28-0. Once again, the story of the first half was Southern Nash's just extreme defense, responsible for one of the touchdowns on a scoop and score by Devon Richardson. And, of course, Jake Cooper with a touchdown completion to Tyleek Mitchell, and topped off by the two first scores on rushing touchdowns by sophomore sensation Luke Faulkner. And the first kickoff of the night by the Vikings will be fielded by Tyleek Mitchell at the goal line. He'll bring it back up. Good coverage by the Vikings, and he'll be brought down at the 10-yard line. So the longest field that Southern Nash has had on the evening, as it's 1st and 10 Firebirds from their own 10-yard line, 90 yards. And they're actually going to spot that ball at about the 12-yard line. And this will be pitched to Tyleek Mitchell, who's got room around the right end, and he'll take it down beyond the 25, where he finally pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So that's enough on the carry for a Southern Nash first down. That'll move the sticks and give the Firebirds a little breathing room. As Leo Roblero checks into the game, as he is patiently waited for by Keegan Wallace and Daniel Collick. Cooper under center, another pitch to Tyleek Mitchell. He'll look to the left end this time. He's got some room to run. If he can make the turn, he's got a lot of green in front of him. He's finally caught and pushed out of bounds at a close to the, well, they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So 2 carries and 2 first downs now to start the second half by Tyleek Mitchell, who was relatively quiet rushing-wise. He had the first 2 big rushes of the game for the Firebirds. No rushing touchdowns in the first half, but he has turned it on here to start the second half. And he'll get the call again back to the right side. This time it's red, and he is caught and thrown for a loss in the backfield. Looks like there's a couple of Viking players showing some injuries. One will walk off. The other one is still down on the field. Coincidentally, they're the ones that were tackling Tyleek. So a hard hit to the ground. Looks like it probably knocked the wind out of the Viking player who's still down on the field. And that would be Jonathan Davis, the outside linebacker. So a loss of 3 on the play will bring up 2nd down and 13 once play resumes. And while the trainers tend to Jonathan Davis, we'll mention one of our game sponsors tonight, Vandermark Side Farms, producing natural grass, which is nature's best. A successful family farm operation for 35 years whose vision is to enhance their customers' field of dreams 1 yard, 1 field at a time, providing varieties of grass product, Bermuda, Fescue, St. Augustine, and Zoysia, servicing central and eastern North Carolina, providing for homeowners, local governments, public and private schools, corporate locations, and athletic fields. They're dedicated to meeting their customers' needs and enhancing their customers' lives. VandermarkSideFarms.com for more information. That's all one word, Vandermark Side Farms. Cooper under center. He'll hand it off this time off tackle to KRT, Caden Ricks Tucker. He'll pick up about 4, get it just inside the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 now for the Firebirds. Mitchell will slide his helmet back on and check back in for KRT. So 3rd and long. Cooper with a couple of nice pass completions on the night. But he'll pitch this one to Mitchell, who'll look around the left end. He slips the tackle. He's got room. He breaks free. 1 man to beat. Tyleek Mitchell will take it all the way to the house for 6 on his first rushing touchdown of the night. A 58-yard scamper put 6 on the board here early in the second half. 10:26 remaining in the third period. There is a Viking player down. No flags on the play. And Benson will be on for her 5th attempt of the night. So once again, a Viking player down on the field of play, and it looks to be they are attending to cramps. Fluids are offered to the South Granville players who pass, which that's got to be vital right now. The South Granville defense will now make their way to the sidelines, and then 2 players will come from the sidelines. To assist the down Viking off of the field. And he's unable to put pressure on that left leg. So we'll keep our eye on that situation, hope that young man is okay as he makes his way to the sideline. And play will resume now as Charlotte Benson is on for the extra point attempt, her 5th of the night. Jake Cooper to hold. And she'll split it for number 5 tonight. So with 10:26 remaining in the third period, Southern Nash moves out to a 35-0 lead over the South Granville Vikings. So very notable improved play for the Firebirds. Last week against East Wake, it seemed like a plague of penalties combined with some turnovers. Only 1 turnover so far on the night. And Benson will pooch kick this one. Oh, the ball's loose. And it looks like Southern Nash, there's a scramble for the ball. Southern Nash had it momentarily. South Granville will come away with it. So Jaden McNeil able to take it away from Jaden Whitaker as it was on the ground. There was some discussion as to whether or not Whitaker was down when he had possession. The referee does not agree, and it'll be South Granville football. 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. And pressure into the backfield. Malachi Dobbins on the lead. And he'll get to Dennison. However, Dobbins remains down on the field. As both Coach Batchelor and trainer Crystal Kennedy will head out, and it appears that it is cramping for Malachi Dobbins. So while we've got this quick break, want to thank another one of tonight's sponsors, Wilson Mold and Machine, located on Wilson and Highway 42. They're the area's #1 tire, mold, and machine shop. Repair and salvage work are their specialty. They're longtime supporters of everything Firebird. And by the way, they're hiring right now. You can visit them at wilsonmoldandmachine.com. That's all one word, wilsonmoldandmachine.com, and fill out an application tonight. As Malachi Dobbins is able to get up under his own strength and walk off the field, obviously tender with those leg cramps. They were an issue last week as well. Once again, the hot and humid weather, dehydration does not take long to set in. So it is critical that these young men keep the fluids pumping. Of course, it's easy to cramp when you're continually chasing quarterbacks in their own backfield. Curran back in. And this time the snap is there. He'll hand it off, but thrown again for more of a loss. On the carry, that's going to bring a third down and about 18. So 3rd and long now for the Vikings. They'll send 2 receivers to either side. One lone running back alongside Curran, who's in the shotgun position. He's going to look to pass. He's got pressure. He gets it away. And this is going to be intercepted. Mr. Interception, Logan Saunders. And he'll take it all the way back down just shy of the 25-yard line. And a late flag comes in as Coach Batchelor was highly upset about some of the initial contact made on Saunders, who still stands up and holds the ball. He must have inherited his dad's head, which is growing up was extremely hard. And I'm sure his wife Pam can attest to that it still is nice and hard. Mr. Thick Noggin, Steve Saunders. But Logan Saunders, Mr. Interception, with his second interception of the season. And a nice return. It'll be 1st and 10, Southern Nash from the 34-yard line of the Vikings. KRT is thrown for a loss. So 2nd down and 13 now for the Firebirds. Cooper will slip this one into the breadbasket of Jonathan Hines. So he'll get just beyond the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it 3rd and 10 now for Southern Nash. And this is going to be Hines on the carry once again. He'll make it just beyond the line of scrimmage. A gain of only about 1. It's going to bring up 4th down and 9 now. For Southern Nash. And it looks like Coach Batchelor is going to go for it here on 4th and, well, make that 4th and 8. And Southern Nash will burn their first timeout of the second half, as Coach Batchelor did not like the set that he saw. So again, during this timeout, we want to recognize Vandermark Sod Farms. They're dedicated to meeting their customers' needs and enhancing their lives. They service Central and Eastern North Carolina. They service both all homeowners, local governments, public and private schools, corporate locations, and athletic fields with a variety of grass products such as Bermuda, Fescue, St. Augustine, and Zoysia. Their vision is to enhance their customers' fields of dreams, 1 yard, 1 field at a time. They've been in successful operation for 35 years, producing nature's best natural grass. That's Vandermark Sod Farms at vandermarksod.com. And a special shout out to Keaton Vandermark, owner of Vandermark Farms. We appreciate your support as always, kind sir. And that's going to be encroachment against the Vikings. So that'll make it a little more manageable 4th down attempt for the Firebirds. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 3. And movement again on the line, and this encroachment call will actually move the sticks for Southern Nash on the second 5-yard penalty in a row. And so now 1st and 10 for the Firebirds from the Viking 23-yard line. Ball's loose, and Jay Cooper will fall on a little miscue on the snap exchange. And Tyleek Mitchell is down in the backfield immediately with the cramps. So official timeout. Want to remind everyone tonight's game is also sponsored by Wilson Mold and Machine, who is currently hiring. No experience needed. Just go to wilsonmoldandmachine.com and fill out an application tonight. That's Wilson Mold and Machine, all one word, .com, and fill out an application tonight. They're the area's #1 tire, mold, and machine shop. They specialize in repair and salvage work. They're longtime supporters of everything Firebird, located in Wilson on Highway 42. Wilson Mold and Machine. So Mitchell, who has had a great evening thus far, one receiving and one rushing touchdown, won a 83-yard touchdown run. Excuse me, a 58-yard touchdown run, I'm sorry. As he'll get up to his feet. And those of you that have suffered from cramps like that, they are extremely painful as those muscles will knot up. As trainer Crystal Kennedy tries to get him moving to get that blood flow going. Got to get him to the sideline. Once again, get some hydration going. As they will await Mitchell to head to the sideline. And with that, play will resume as Daniel Colley steps up to the line of scrimmage and Jake Cooper will step in under center. 2nd down and 10 now for the Firebirds. Nice pass, and that's John Tullison on the 2nd touchdown pass of the night for Jake Cooper. John Tullison on his first score of the year with 6:27 remaining in the 3rd period. Firebirds pull ahead 41, and Charlotte Benson once again steps out to attempt the point after. Cooper to hold. And that kick is through with no problem. And once again, with 6:09 and counting remaining in the 3rd period, as we are now in running clock mode, Southern Nash leads 42-0. So in case you're not aware of rule changes in recent years, anytime there is a 42-point deficit, it does shift into running clock. So the clock will continue to run unless South Granville is able to close that gap for the remainder of the game. So things should start moving very quickly here as we pass 5.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. And Benson will put a little foot into this one downfield at 30. The ball's loose. The ball's still loose. There is a scramble for it at about the 33-yard line. They will say that South Granville did come up with it again. That ball squirted out a couple of times. But it will be 1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 33-yard line. So the Vikings have managed one fumble recovery tonight and a couple of decent pass plays. Of course, one of them was called back. But outside of that, not a whole lot to really hang their hat on here as far as their performance this evening. Southern Nash extremely tough. Pressure again from Dobbins, who has returned from the cramps. And that'll be incomplete and bring up second down and 10. Kern again from the shotgun. He'll slip that in the pocket of Jaden McNeil, who will have a nice run before he's finally forced out of bounds at midfield. And that'll be first down for the Vikings. From the 50-yard line. So we do have a score update. In the fourth quarter, Northern Nash leads Fike by a score of 55-6. As apparently the loss of seniors all to Barton College last year for Northern Nash is having no impact, as they handily beat Hunt last week and are manhandling Fike this week. Dennison on that carry will be dropped for a loss. It's going to bring up second down and 12. And that was Zaquez Macklin on the stop. Curran again from the shotgun. Receivers to both sides. He'll tuck and keep this one himself, and he'll slide back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up third down at 10. So trying to get some score updates for you here. Franklinton, as of right now, has posted no scores. They're playing Lewisburg this evening. Lewisburg, who is in the conference but does not play any of the Nash County 3A teams, so they do not face Southern Nash, Rocky Mount, or Northern Nash. They only play Franklinton and Bunn, along with Nash Central and Roanoke Rapids. And another big sack on the play. Israel Whitaker to get that started. And Treyor Mon to come in and help finish him off with the assist. So another big loss to bring up fourth down and almost 16 here. So a update for Roanoke Rapids. They trail Vance County in the second quarter 30-0. So Roanoke Rapids struggling so far this year with a 0-1 record, and what looks to be headed to 0-2. Try to pull up some other conference scores with possibly Bunn and Nash Central if scores are being posted. We'll bring those to you as soon as we can get them. Another high punt snap. Allows nearly enough time for Southern Nash to get back. And Tyleek Mitchell will let that one bounce. That actually hits the feet of one of the Vikings players, and it'll be downed at the Southern Nash 23-yard line, as that's where Southern Nash will take over first and 10. So Bunn actually played last night against Northampton County, won a 1A powerhouse, and lost by a final score of 24-3. Northampton County, of course, making it to the state championship within recent years in the 1A division. Back then, I guess it would have been the 1AA. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter here at Southern Nash, as Southern Nash leads 42-0 over South Granville. Once again, as soon as the ball is kicked, the clock will turn on, and it will not stop for the remaining 12 minutes unless South Granville is able to score and close the deficit to less than 42. Southern Nash's offense will step onto the field. Starting at their own 23-yard line. Jake Cooper remains in at quarterback. And this will be handed off. And that was carried. That was Jaquez Andrews on the carry. So some of the second string players are now checking in as some of the offensive line has changed. And this will be handed off and run off the right tackle. A nice run out near first down yardage. And that ball was carried by Warren Ruffin. And they will give him enough yardage on that carry to move the chains for Southern Nash, and it's 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. And this will be run up the middle again. And Jaquez Andrews on the carry. He'll pick up 3 and bring up 2nd down and 7 now for the Firebirds. And this time in Legenby, Jaquez Andrews, he'll take it up the middle with a little room to the left. It's now close to 1st down yardage. We'll look for the spot to see if they give him that, and they do. So it's 1st and 10 Southern Nash from now their own 43-yard line. We passed the 9.5-minute mark remaining in the game. Like some moving up front, no flags on the play. Andrews again on the carry. He'll take it down close to midfield. They will spot it at the 49. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 4 now for the Firebirds. And if you're wondering why starting quarterback Jake Cooper has not left the game, the backup quarterback is actually Logan Saunders, who has also played the entire game on defense. And so these are valuable reps for Jake Cooper as he hands that off to Christian Tyler, who'll take it across midfield. Actually, they're going to mark him down just inside the 50-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3 now for Southern Nash. And this one will go right up the middle on a nice run across midfield. And that was roughing on the carry out to the 43-yard line of South Granville, and that'll once again move the sticks as the second string under the leadership of Jake Cooper continues to move the football. We passed 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. And Jaquez Andrews nearly breaks free. He was tripped up on the last man to get him. They're going to mark him down at the 35-yard line. That'll bring up second down and about 2 for the Firebirds. And looks like Andrews will get the call again. And he will bulldoze his way off the left guard down to the 33-yard line. It's going to be about a yard shy. No, they're... So a little confusion there between the officials and the chain gang. That actually is enough for a first down. So they will move the stick. So it's 1st and 10 Southern Nash from the South Granville 33-yard line. Andrews will take it off the right side. He'll be stopped as he doesn't quite get around the end. He'll cross the 30-yard line. They're going to mark him down at about the 29. So it's going to bring up second down and about 6 now for the Firebirds. Clock continues to run as it approaches 5.5 minutes remaining in the game. So a little bit of a miscue in the backfield as Cooper and Andrews collided. However, they're able to pull a couple of yards out of it. It's going to bring up third down and about 5 now, as there is another South Granville player down on the field. So an official timeout is called. And we want to thank tonight's sponsors, Vandermark Side Farms and Wilson Mold and Machine. Vandermark Side Farms, dedicated to meeting their customers' needs and enhancing their lives in the production of natural grass. Nature's best. They're a successful family farm operation for 35 years. Their vision is to enhance their customers' field of dreams, 1 yard, 1 field at a time, through the use of a variety of products, Bermuda, Fescue, St. Augustine, and Zoysia, serving central and eastern North Carolina, providing great products for homeowners, local governments, public and private schools, corporate locations, and athletic fields. That's VandermarkSide.com. And Wilson Mold and Machine, located in Wilson on Highway 42. They're the area's #1 tire mold and machine shop, and they specialize in repair and salvage. They're longtime supporters of the Firebirds, and they are hiring at the time. You can look them up on wilsonmoldandmachine.com and fill out an application today. So once again, the Tar River Sports Network here, we will be bringing you all of the home games live. Unfortunately, we are unable to broadcast the away games as the other schools now have their own cameras and do not require commentary and all that good stuff, so you can watch the silent movies coming to you from all of the schools like Nash Central, Northern Nash, Rocky Mount, Fike. If you're interested in silent movies, you can watch those, or you can watch our home games live with commentary, even though the commentary might be questionable at times. We appreciate all of our fan support. Once again, this is the Tar River Sports Network. So it looks like a decision is finally made to help the injured Viking player off the field. The clock does stop, even under running clock rules. It does stop for injuries. And that would be Ronald Jenkins, the defensive tackle, who will make his way to the sidelines. As the senior quarterback, Jake Cooper, will march the Southern Nash offense back onto the field with a 3rd and 5 situation. And they continue to chew away at the game clock, who has now resumed. And with that carry, that is Warren Ruffin on the carry. It's like a gain of about 7 on the play. That's enough to move the chains again. So it'll be 1st and 10 Firebirds from the 22-yard lines of South Granville. And it appears now, after that last injury timeout, that South Granville has started to move in some of their subs and second-string players. Looks like Cooper is going to let this play clock run all the way down before he takes the snap. And that's going to be handed off again to Jaquez Andrews. He'll take it out to about the 15-minute, a little beyond. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 1 as another Vikings player heads to the sideline with cramps. They'll reset that marker. It's going to be 2nd down and about 2 now for the Firebirds. Clock now rolling past 3 minutes remaining in the game. As Davon Richardson, the defensive powerhouse, now checks in for offense. Richardson with a scoop and score earlier on the night for the Southern Nash 3rd score of the evening. That was the 83-yard scoop and score. Once again, Cooper let this play clock run all the way down. Going to let that clock just head more and more towards expiration. Southern Nash with a resounding lead, 42-0 over South Granville. And Richardson will receive the handoff. He'll take it around the left end down close to the 10. And I believe that will be enough to move the sticks for another 1st down. We'll see the spot. They're going to mark him down just outside of the 11. And it looks like that will be enough, as it'll now be 1st and 10 from about the 11.5-yard line. as we pass a minute and a half remaining.
Southern Nash, first down.
So it looks like at this point Southern Nash may be lining up in victory formation with the running clock now approaching 1 minute remaining and a first down. And Jay Cooper will take a knee. And he should have to run one more play. And that should do it. That brings up second down and 10. And that should do it here at Southern Nash as 30 seconds remain. Southern Nash is going to move on to win this game 42-0 over South Granville. They'll move the Southern Nash record to 2-0 on the season. South Granville will fall to 0-2. Next week, Southern Nash visits Fike over in Wilson, who suffered a severe loss to Northern Nash tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how the Fike offense holds up against the powerhouse defense of Southern Nash. Once again, we want to thank tonight's sponsors, Wilson Mold and Machine and Vandermark Side Farms. They are the sponsors for this entire home season at Southern Nash. And we look forward to seeing you again here in 2 weeks as Southern Alamance comes to Stanhope. And one of the first ever meetings of Southern Nash and Southern Alamance here in Stanhope. This is the Tar River Sports Network. I'm Brent Cohn. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We're out.